Hola amigos. So today we're going to be talking about how to set better boundaries within relationships. Not the most fun one, but a very important one because it's really something that I found that is really key to making relationships last and for them to be as happy and healthy as can be. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my life I have not had great boundaries within relationships, and it's something I've really had to learn, and it's something I'm still learning today. So in no way am I perfect at this. I did want to share this though because I did go through an experience recently where I had to learn how to do this better. So the first thing to do to start setting better boundaries is practice, and that's how I've learned the most, is through getting out there and getting practical real life examples. I think watching YouTube videos is great. Learning from other people is fantastic. Until the day I die, I recommend doing that because it's such a great resource and can help speedline the process to figure things out that maybe you were not aware of before. And the reason why people go through mistakes, the reason why I'm doing this channel, is because I can share with you what I've messed up on so you don't have to make those same mistakes. So definitely learn from them. The issue sometimes can come from when people do that too much, to where all they do is watch YouTube videos. All they do is ask other people for their advice and what should I do. Basically called mentally touching yourself. And I think you know which word I'm talking about. So really learning what you can online and then going out and trying to find as many relationships as you can to practice this on. And as soon as I said that, I'm like, wait, that kind of sounds weird, right? Like just go spam 1,000 people and see if you can do it. No, let me rephrase that. Practice this the best you can within the relationships you have and the new ones you develop. Now, you might be getting clean right now from substances and you might not have a lot of relationships. That's okay. Practice it with yourself, and we'll get into some more self-care boundary tips you can work on later in this video. For now though, really working on, okay, how can I learn to understand what the other person wants and needs, maybe either through verbal communication, or sometimes as you get more experience, you'll kind of just be able to pick up on it. And that's kind of where the superpower lies anyway, especially within dating. Guys, okay, this is somebody that, for example, needs space. I'm gonna learn how to set boundaries with myself. And of course, these boundaries a lot of times often come within, and then you can so if I can set a boundary with myself that I don't need to be around this person all the time, I'm gonna be able to respect their boundary as well. And then when we do come together, it's gonna be awesome. Vice versa, let's say you're somebody that you're seeing somebody, or your friend is somebody that really needs to have a lot of interaction to feel safe and vulnerable and all that. Well, that is called anxious attachment style. And in that situation, the boundary comes, okay, how do I set a boundary with this person to say, hey man, I really enjoy your company, but I cannot hang out with you as much as you would like to hang out with me. And doing that, I think where a lot of people are afraid to set boundaries is that they run the risk of the other person saying, I can't allow that in my life, I have to leave. And that is definitely a possibility when you're setting boundaries with people. They might not like that boundary, and they might not want to be a part of that or have that boundary enforced within their life to have that relationship with you. And that's something that you got to learn to accept. It's not easy, especially if you really like the person. However, it's going to be better in the long term if you can get those boundaries kind of set in stone up front. So both of those situations, see, you have to set that boundary within yourself first and then with the other person. Now, let's say the other person just doesn't respect that and they keep reaching out, they keep pestering you, even though you said, hey, I need space. Then that's where you have to come in and say, okay, I got to cut this off. I have to be the one here to set that boundary for myself. And that might be also saying no to the relationship, which can be tough too, especially if you care about the person, you don't want to hurt them. I know myself, I have that codependency, so I get a lot of guilt about the thought of harming somebody psychologically and emotionally. Even though, ironically, in not setting those boundaries or honoring them, I'm kind of doing that in the first place. So it's definitely tougher for me to be on the side that has to say no to somebody than to be said no to. And that's something I'm working on now too, is learning how to say no and saying, hey, this isn't working for me. Take care. I wish you the best. Now, that doesn't mean the relationship's going to end. You know, the relationship might come back. The relationship, you might run into that person again and you're both in a different place, or at least what's most important is that you're in that stronger place, and then they can pick up on that and you can maybe try it again with those new set boundaries. And that might be what it is. Sometimes the relationship there's a lot going for it, and it's just timing, right? The timing isn't correct in terms of, I'll just say for an example myself, like maybe I'm not mature enough yet, or I don't have the skills that are needed for this situation yet. And although we really like each other and things are going great, we have a great time when we hang out, that the simple fact that I'm just not there yet might be kind of the factor. So timing plays a huge role into that as well. So this video is kind of turning into like more relationship stuff, but it's something I think is really important to talk about, and it's something I want to talk about. So now a big thing too in dating sober is that, you know, you date somebody and it's going really well, and you know what's tough is that when you enter into the real dating world, chances are that people aren't going to be drinking or doing some sort of substance is low. I think I've gone on a date with one girl that doesn't drink, and everyone else does, you know, not addictively, thankfully, but to some degree they do. And so that is where also having to set strong boundaries with relationships is tough, especially and important with people that do use substances, right? Like, how much am I going to let this person into my life? How much am I going to share with them? How much can I really open up and trust with them? And then, is this somebody that I can be around and maintain my own sobriety? I think that's a really big important part. A lot of folks you see, they, you know, reconnect with their old friends after they get sober, and before they know it, they're smoking and drinking again because they just couldn't say no to their friends that were, you know, really pushing for them. So let's say, for example, let's use that as the next point here. You know, all your buddies, you know, you're gonna have two types of friends. You're gonna have the friends that really support you, no matter if they drink or drug or use marijuana or not, and then you're gonna have the friends that are really against it and kind of are going to pressure you and not respect your boundary to say no. So that comes back to, let's say that's the friend group you're working with, the people that just are, you know, can't just accept that you're on this new path. Well, that's where you have to set those strong boundaries again, within and without. Hey, are these people I can hang out with? Are these people I need to start saying no to? Do I need to set stronger boundaries with myself, which means go to more support group meetings, get a coach or a sponsor so I can stay grounded in my sobriety, or really spend more time with myself and getting to know myself more so that one day I can see these friends again, however, be able to stand up to them and say, no, I'm not doing this. And then, you know, whatever happens from there is out of your control. So that's one option. Let's go with the option that your friends are super supportive. Well, then I think in those situations, then it comes more into the internal again, like, okay, how do I stay sober while hanging out with these people? Because a lot of times that I've almost found can be harder because there's not that anger anymore. Like, okay, these guys don't care if I drink or smoke anymore. Damn, I kind of want to be hanging out and smoking and drinking with them. Dang it, I wish I could partake. How am I going to relate to them? I don't want to be that weird sober guy that just stands there and, you know, is a buzzkill to the party. And so there, for me anyway, that's been more of the internal battle. Like, how do I have fun and like stay social with people that do use? And it's taking practice. So coming back to the first thing is getting out there and getting practice, going to parties, hanging out with people that do drink, dating people that do use occasionally, and not marijuana. I stay away from that, but people that can drink, and am I able to have a harmonious relationship with them? Oftentimes, yes. It's difficult to go really deep with that person though, and that is kind of what I want with relationships, is to go eventually to be able to really connect on that soul level. Actually, no, I did date somebody that did not drink or use marijuana and was working on quitting nicotine, and they actually did when they were with me. Gal on this channel that you've seen a few months ago when I was in Poland, right? We had a really deep connection, and it was just, unfortunately, you know, I couldn't stay in Poland, and so we weren't able to make it work, and there's some other factors, but I really connected with her on a deeper level, and I think a big part of that was because we were both clear and sober, and we could emotionally open to that. Unfortunately, I've dated a lot of people that don't do that, and it's very hard to go deep, and if I do, it pushes them away because it's too much for them to handle. And so with those people, I have to learn to take it a lot slower, because I'm somebody that when I meet someone, I want to go full send, and that's, you know, a boundary I have to set with myself not to do that anymore, and really take things slow, get to know them a little bit as to who they are as people, and then maybe slowly over time have that open up. Also just accepting too, like, what does life have in play? What are the boundaries life has with me in terms of dating and relationships and friendships? Are people that use and drink and drug people that the universe and higher power wants me to spend time with and hang out with? If the answer is yes, universe is going to give me the tools to be able to do that in the most productive way possible. And if not, my sponsor's been telling me this, it's just not going to work out no matter what you do. And that's a tough truth to hear, because I'm somebody that wants to figure out a solution and get things done and be proactive and productive. You know, life has a bigger plan at store at the end of the day, and I'm, you know, maybe 10 years from now when I have more tools, I'll be able to make it work. But for now anyway, that's probably might not be the case, and that's something I have to accept. So accepting the universe's boundaries with yourself as well, and meeting life where you're at. Right? If you're brand new into sobriety and you're, you know, still having withdrawals and cravings and stuff, I know one guy that can go out, that's going out and dating, and he's definitely, you know, he's got a different kind of head on him. A lot of people can't do that. I couldn't start dating until I was like 6 years clean, just because I had so much stuff to work on. I tried at one point, didn't work. Tried another time, didn't work. And finally, when I was clear-headed enough, I was able to do it. So really ask yourself, what do you need for yourself right now? Coming back to the title of the video, setting boundaries with yourself on, okay, this is what I need. This is how I'm gonna get to a place where I could date and have awesome relationships by taking this time for myself and finding out who I am as a person. So when I go out there, I can be fully present to the best I can be. And you know, you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn lessons that, I'll tell you this, if I would have known that some of these lessons would have come if I were to start dating and getting into intimate romantic relationships, I might have said no. They are painful as can be, man. But I can laugh now, because once you get through it and you learn the lesson, everything from there just kind of opens up and skyrockets. So guys, I think that's going to end the video today. Comment down below what your boundaries are that you've needed to learn to set with yourself and others in relationships, in recovery, in sobriety, friendships, family members, all the above. Maybe we'll do another video coming up on family, because I know we talked more about dating today. Other than that, one-on-one help as always, reach down, hit the link below, can hop on a call with me, and we can see if we're going to be a good fit, and see if I can be of assistance to you on your sobriety journey. And other than that, subscribe if you haven't, and talk to you in the next one. Peace.